Now we're on the grounds of the Orphanage school. There's an old dormitory here. This is a science laboratory. This is a new school in conjunction with the Vietnamese government, with the Lao government, and there's two schools here. Our nursery is situated in the far building, and that's an old school that we actually built for the nursery, for the orphanage school, 6 years ago. And when we put the concept of opening a nursery, the government actually gave it back to us to open our nursery on those grounds. Our nursery opened in October 2019 when we took our first children, and we have a 5-year plan with the government, but we of course will look to extend that into the future.
How many children do you have now, today?
Today we have 7 children. We're bringing in another 4 children in probably the next 4 to 6 weeks. And the plan for this nursery is to have a maximum of about 25 children on this particular ground.
How much does it cost to keep one child here for a year?
Well, a lot of the cost for having a child here is the cost of the staff and feeding the staff and the children. The way we work it out at the moment, it's about $200 per month per child to keep them here, and hopefully as we get more staff and more children, those costs will come down a bit.
Right.
Initially we were hoping to find one sponsor that could fund everything, but that's been quite difficult. So what we think we'll do is have one child allocated per sponsor, and they can sponsor that child through until about 5 or 6 years old, and at that stage those children will then go into the orphanage school.
I noticed one of the little children we've got here is from the village that we visited this time last year when their parents had passed away, and that child has 2 siblings, I believe?
Yeah, from that family, the family had 4 children. Both parents died together, unfortunately, and the 2 girls were about 7 and 9 years old, so we brought them into the orphanage school. At that stage this nursery wasn't open, so we had to support the family back in the village until this was open, and he was the first child we brought in. So he's only 3 years old. The reason we brought all 3 children was there was no one to take care of them. The uncle lived next door, but he had 9 children himself, and he was very poor. So it was fairly obvious that these children needed support to at least come to the orphanage for the older girls and bring the youngest boy here. So this nursery is like a kindergarten for children 0 to 6, and after 6 years old we have an agreement with the government. Every child will go into the orphanage school. We will support them still in the orphanage school, but through the orphanage school program.
So where do the children come from that are in the nursery?
We have about 20 villages in our village support program, and through our villages we actually find children that are orphaned in there that aren't well supported. The villages are very keen for us to help. If a child's orphaned and the village has to take care of those children, it's really difficult for them because they're poor themselves. So the best way for us to help is if they agree, we can take 1 or 2 children from that family that are orphaned, and we'll support them all the way through to age 19 or 20. It takes a big burden off that village to support them.
Is the project government sanctioned?
Yes, it is. We've been working with the Education Department for several years now. This was a very difficult project to get approved because several different organisations and government officers had to approve it. And finally, the final approval was actually signed off by the Education Department in Vientiane. The best thing about that is it gave us the scope to support children all over Laos, not just in Luang Prabang. Having sanctioning by the government is really important for us to operate in Laos.